Thank you so much for joining this afternoon, folks. Very excited to be talking to you all about all the new features that we have shipped in past few months. And most importantly, what I'm most excited about is talking about what the future has to offer when it comes to new exciting features for Monday Dev. So quick introductions to who you see today. So I'm Rohini Sharma. I think majority of you know me by now. I head go-to-market for Monday Dev in APJ. And I'll be joined by Chris Geller, who's a senior solutions engineer for Monday Dev in APJ as well. Today's webinar we split into two parts. So we're going to have the first bit where we'll talk about all the features that we have shipped in past few months, and that's what Chris is going to talk through. And then I'm going to take you through what the future has and what's coming in the roadmap in the next coming quarters. So let's begin with new features. And with that, I will pass on the mic to Chris.
Thanks, Rohini. Awesome. Hi, everyone. And today we'll be covering, like Rohini said, the new features in the webinar. So the first feature off the rank today is the Epic Insights. So Epic Insights provide high-level analytics and visualizations that help you track the progress, the performance, the overall health of your Epic, enabling teams to make data-driven decisions and optimize project outcomes. What we'll be doing through this presentation today is going over the item and then going into Monday and showing you what it looks like. So what we'll do is we will click into our Epic board. Now on our Epic board, we have our item card. And the new feature we have in Monday Dev is the ability to show more information on this item card. So meaning I have a visualization of my Epic description. I can capture information around the estimated and actual efforts. And you'll see we also have some dashboarding widgets brought into the overview card as well. So this is really powerful. It allows us to bring in visualizations similar to what you have on a dashboard directly into the item card of the Epic or task. So really, really powerful feature set. So that's the first feature that we'll be looking at today, or we looked at today, so Epic Insights. Following on from there, we have Agile Insights. So Agile Insights are offering in-depth analytics and metrics to track team performance, sprint progress, and workflow efficiency, helping your teams continuously improve and adapt within the Agile frameworks. To do that, we'll go to our task board. So when we are creating a new view on our sprint board, you'll see there is an Agile Insights button that you can use to create the view. Now from this view, it's going to show us the burn down of our current sprint. So throughout the entire progress, we can see a burn down. We can break this down by additional fields as well if you want to see things like priority and whatnot as well. But this just allows us to see, what is our ideal burn down with what we've got on our remaining story points as well. As we scroll down the page, we'll also see some widgets around and show some demo data, some velocity of the sprints as well. So I can see what we've committed on each sprint and how much we've completed for each sprint with the completed average across all the sprints as well. Now, when you're doing your sprints in an ideal world, everything will be planned, but there's always going to be times when the unplanned work is going to come out as well. So what we're actually tracking on the next widget is our planned versus unplanned sprint tasks. So you can easily visualize what was planned and unplanned. The next feature we're going to be looking at is the label change conditions. So this is a very frequently asked for feature. It is for our enterprise customers. And what this does is it enables change conditions with Monday to trigger actions automatically when a label is updated or a status. So that keeps our tasks and workflows up to date. So if we go into our task board, now I have my sprint board, for example. Now I want to move my item or my sprint task from waiting for review to pending deploy. Now, once I move this item into pending deploy, what happens is it's coming in and asking for additional information. So when we make moving that to live, for example, or pending deploy, it's actually asking us for questions like what's the actual story point, or is there a GitHub link? And this is really easy to configure. So on the status column, you go to your settings field and you can set label change conditions. And this allows you to say, what is the status you'd like to do? So for example, when we want to put something into stuck, for example, maybe we want to fill out additional information as to what actually happened. So I want more information on that as well. So it's really easy to go and configure this. When we move an item into live, we want to make sure that there's an owner assigned to the task as well. So that's configurable on any of these status columns as well. Moving on to the next task, next part, sorry, is Monday AI. So Monday's put a massive investment into the AI. And using Monday AI allows you to categorize fields by automatically analyzing data patterns and assigning appropriate labels, thus reducing manual effort and enhancing workflow efficiency. So if we travel back to our task board and we want to create a new feature, so it's going to be design UI for web app. Now I'm going to go in and set that task. Now you'll notice some of the fields are automatically setting. So you can see here, the type of field is automatically set to feature and the role for that field is set to design. Now, how is that performed? With AI. So on our tasks, for example, we now have the ability to autofill with AI. If I customize the block, what we'll see is we can choose what we want it to do. So I'd like it to categorize in the field. I can choose the information or field that I want to categorize from, whether it be task name or a description or any other field. And I can tell it like a GPT, tell it what it needs to do. So in this instance, I'm telling it to categorize a task, imagining you're someone who's going and trafficking or assigning these jobs. And what will happen is it actually tells you based on the type of task, what kind of feature, or if it's a feature, design, or whatever else as well. So design, it'll show design as an example, or it did for this one. Now, similarly for the feature as well, I've also done the same for the role. Now, there are additional functionalities that we can do on the AI field. So for example, if I want to go in on my task description, now we can do a lot of different things. So things like detecting sentiment, extracting info from the text and putting it into another column, improving that text, summarizing text, translations as well is really powerful if you're doing multilingual support. The ability to help it write and help with writing your fields. And lastly is the custom action. And the custom actions is really powerful. So what you can do is you can provide a description of what you want it to do. So let's just say, for example, provide a detailed overview of this item based on the task description, due date, and status. So you can grab fields from multiple places and then create a custom AI block that'll run on that column as well. So really, really cool what we're moving into and what we're working with AI at the moment. And we'll send more information on this after the call as well. Following up from AI, we have our dev integrations. Now, the two integrations we're going to be focusing on today are the GitHub Actions and Circle CI. So with GitHub Actions and Circle CI, integration with Monday, it's enabling automated workflows and continuous integration pipelines to sync directly with Monday boards. So providing real-time updates, build status, and issue tracking to streamline the development process. Now, how do we get these integrations into Monday? So if we were to go to our board, now I just have a CI/CD board that I've configured. Now I've got some basic integrations that I will show with Circle CI. So if I go to my integrate tab and my board automations, now I've got some pre-built items with Circle CI. So what I'm saying is when a job in Circle CI meets a certain criteria, success, failed, canceled, unauthorized in your organization for your specific project, we create an item in Monday and sync that across. So when a job is successful or a job fails, we're able to keep track of that information and get notified inside of monday.com as well. Now, not only can we do that for Circle CI, we also have the ability to do this for GitHub as well. So if I look at my GitHub recipe, when a GitHub workflow on a specific repository finishes with a specific conclusion, we create an item on Monday as well, following a very similar process, but allowing us to do that for GitHub Actions as well. So there are the two processes that we can follow for creating those new integrations. Now, I think from my point, we're done in what's in Monday. What we're going to do is shift gears right now and go back to Rahini to discuss what is actually upcoming in monday.com. We've got some really cool stuff coming, and it'll be great to see. Rahini, I'm just going to get back to you. And I'll
Thank
answer
you, Chris.
as we go through.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Before I begin with what's coming, I do want to highlight that the AI features are currently not available for all our customers. It's a capability that needs to be turned on. So if you're interested in looking at AI capability, please do reach out to us directly. Okay. So what's coming? Let's talk about some exciting new features that we'll be shipping in the coming months and quarters to you all. So the first one that I would like to talk to you about is a performance dashboard. Now, one of the main reasons why customers and users love Monday is because of the dashboards. Right? Visualization is built at the core of the product. And we want to take that capability and really amplify that for Monday Dev. So our team has been very busy working on this performance dashboard. The performance dashboard would provide leadership with insights on team performance and delivery speed. So this is quite critical for anyone who is managing an engineering team or managing a product team or a delivery team in that regard. It will also help you uncover and eliminate any bottlenecks. So it'll flag things when you're slowing down. It'll help you diagnose what's really happening with your delivery and help you identify those impediments in time. So this is something that we're quite excited about, and it really takes our measurements and visualization to the next level. Next is sprint capacity. So sprint capacity, we understand, is currently quite, in most organizations, it's quite manual. What we've heard from customers and users is that they would want to know more in terms of how much work they should be planning for, what their capacity is, not just based on velocity, but then also in terms of, the complexity of the work that they are using. Also looking at ramp time for people who are newly joining in, also any leaves or public holidays that are coming in, so which is going to impact your overall throughput. So we're bringing this all together in a sprint capacity view. This view will leverage capacity insights so that you're able to make more realistic commitments around your goals and what can be achieved from a delivery point of view. And again, something more exciting about that is that you would be able to assign sprint tasks based on developer capability and availability. So that takes into mind more in terms of, what the total throughput can be achieved, which makes you help set realistic goals and commitments to wider stakeholder group. The other one, which has been asked for many times across like all of our products, but somehow we're pioneering that with Monday Dev. So with Monday Dev, we're going to be introducing item relations. This will help you track and resolve those cross-organization dependencies. This is the number one reason, number one ask from majority of our users is cross-org dependencies and being able to track that. And that's something that you're going to see quite soon on Monday Dev. Okay, WIP limit. So we understand that when you're working in Agile, especially Kanban, could also be if you're working in Sprint, you want to limit your work in progress. And how do you do that? Sometimes it's just a simple counter where most of our customers I see using, but we're going to take it to the next level. So what we're going to have is a better visualization of whip limits, where you can set the whip limit to X, and it will be able to track that over a period of time. So again, ensuring that you have that visibility across how the team is performing, what the current work in progress is, and you're not forming bottlenecks where only a certain part of the work is in progress, and you're not able to ship that user story or a task in a seamless way. So this, again, I think is quite a good feature that's going to add tremendous value to our users and to our customers. So this is, again, something that we've been working on, and you're going to see it come through very, very soon. We probably would be the most efficient team when it comes to the webinars, probably the most quickest webinar I've had in a while. But it is important for us to share this information and to really get you across all the new features and capabilities that the teams are working on, and making sure that you have a visibility to see that the feedback that you're giving is important and it's been actually plugged into the product roadmap as well. So I really want to thank you all. We can share this recording so you can circulate it around the teams as well. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, everyone. If you have any questions as well, feel free to put them in the chat. We do have Swati. There is an answer to your question. Give me a second. We've also got contact details after this. If we don't have them, we'll get someone reach out to you as well to give you a hand with that, Swati.
Yeah, I can see that you have answered some questions already. You probably want to read out so everyone can see that as well.
Yeah, so it was just, does the dev product provide burn down charts, budget forecasting, and resource management? Yes, we do. We did cover burn down, but we also, with our dashboarding, can focus on budget forecasting and also the resource management with our workload as well. I've had another question. So, can multiple conditions around the label change conditions? So can multiple conditions trigger at the same time without conflict? And that's yes. We can have a combination of fields triggering at the same time. So that's also not a problem. Sorry. So another question is, can I track build failures directly within Monday in relation to GitHub Actions and Circle CI? And the answer to that question is also yes. So the integration is built to track that information throughout for each one. And the last question I can see is, how do Agile Insights help identify bottlenecks in the workflow? So being able to easily visualize those the metrics, being able to visualize the fields the reporting fields that are coming in, be able to see things like how long is it going to take us to get the task done. We can see who's working on those tasks. We're able to actually build in that sort of resourcing as well to show those to identify those bottlenecks and solve them before they become issues. Sorry, I think
Chris, there's one more question I'll read out. So do you guys have plans to add a feature that allows multi-homing of tasks?
So we have an app that does that currently. What we are doing is we also have some workarounds for this as well. So we do things with our connect board columns and our mirror columns to provide this. So we have a sort of workaround feature, and we have an app that does the same feature as that multi-homing.
One more I'll read out.
Yeah.
Will there be more automation capacity around mirror column status change for cross-board functions?
Yes, there is. And we do have some native functionality for that as well. What we can do is we have a recipe that supports status and mirror columns. It's not part of the custom automation builder. It's a pre-built template. but it does allow us to build out that mirror column status updates example and trigger automations based on those mirror columns. So yeah, reach out to us at either our support or sales to be able to run a demonstration on how we can set that up for you. Can you share some documentation on how to set up Epic and Agile Insights? We definitely can. After the call, what we'll do is we'll send out some collateral on these features as well to people. So that's not a problem as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess those were all the questions that we had. If anyone has any more questions. No? All right. Thank you so much for joining. It was lovely chatting to you. And if you have any further questions from that, you obviously have my details. So please feel free to reach out, and more than happy to answer your questions then. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.